Judge Stoudt, it's good to be here with you. Let's start off by talking about the equipment bay. It's my understanding that you guys approved a transfer of funds, I believe it was $85,000. For that, what exactly is the purpose of that equipment bay?
Well, we've got some new equipment in, and we want to put them underneath cover versus being out in the rain and so forth. That has a tendency to wear on equipment when you park it out in the rain, and so we're building a new bay to accommodate the new equipment.
And where will that be located?
Precinct 3.
And is that, is this anything new for the county? Has this happened before?
Oh, yeah, it happens. It's happened in other precincts, and when we purchased a new additional equipment that we don't have room to put it under roof, we will build a bay or so to accommodate the new equipment.
Are there other bays in Precinct 3 already available?
Yeah, well, no, they're not available. There is none left. They've all got equipment parked in them.
But other precincts have.
They've got bays as well, but they're pretty much all full. We don't build another facility for putting equipment in until we actually need the facility itself.
Now, quite a bit of fiber optic cable installation was approved during this meeting. I believe it was over 40,000 feet. Sort of walk me through what the progress has been over the last few years.
It's been quite a bit around Longview, and especially Liberty City. Liberty City is probably one of the faster growing areas of Gregg County. It's one of the few areas that still has a lot of.
In terms of population, you're referring to?
Pardon?
In terms of population or fiber optic?
Both. And building of new homes. It's just a growing little community out there in Liberty City, and Spectrum has chosen that area to really focus on getting fiber optics in the ground for the growth, and so that's what this is all about.
Would you happen to know how many people in the county have access to fiber at this moment in time?
Well, it depends on who you talk to. If you talk to the federal government, they'll tell you one number. You talk to the state, they'll tell you another number, and I can tell you that from my perspective, City of Longview is pretty well covered. The City of Kilgore is pretty well covered. Then outside those two areas, we are in badly need of additional fiber optics in the entire outside the city areas.
So what impact will these new installations have?
Well, obviously it'll continue to help. It'll continue to broaden the access to internet, and that's exactly what we want for the people that live here.
And how important is this to you to install this?
It's very important, and we hope that we continue to have these requests to continue to put more fiber optic in the ground to continue to reach more people.
Do you find yourself or the county, really making an effort to expand, the amount of fiber? Are these companies themselves sort of coming to you?
The companies themselves are doing it on their own. It's under the free enterprise system. They're all competing to try and get their cable in first, but we've also part of the East Texas Council of Government request for additional fiber optics funding to address some of these areas in outlying county areas that we do not have anybody putting any cable in at this time, and we're really kind of focused on seeing about getting that grant done.
But what grant?
It's a grant that the East Texas Council of Government's putting together for about a 14-county region to expand your fiber optics in all the counties outside the cities that already have it in the county area.
How much would that be, and when would that?
Well, the amount of money is still to be determined. We just have the application in, and our plans have been presented to the federal authorities in terms of what we're requesting, and so it all goes through the East Texas Council of Governments. I would suggest you contact David Cleveland. He's the executive director, and he could give you more details of it.
And have you experienced at all an issue with people hitting those fiber optic cables?
Not that bad. We had a few issues regarding tearing up some roads and things regarding going underneath them, but I think we've gotten those resolved.
And just doing a bit of research beforehand, I saw there was a project with 70 Sparklight locations in Gregg County. Do you have any updates on that?
No, other than they're working hard. They're all Sparklight are working hard. The company we talked about today is working hard. There's a lot of fiber being laid in the ground and above the ground in terms of in the telephone pole areas.
And one other thing I want to ask you about is there was a funding agreement between Gregg County, East Texas Child Advocates, and the Longview Teen Court. So walk me through what exactly that funding.
Those are 501c3s that the court has chosen to support financially. It's a fairly small donation that we give every year to help them fund some of their operation.
What should viewers know about what the future holds for Gregg County in 2025.
Well, I think Gregg County is really positioned well for growth. We've got a lot of big companies that have moved in the last few years. We've got additional housing development taking place. We've got townhomes being built. We've got apartment complexes being built. We've got fiber optics, people laying fiber optics. I think Gregg County's positioned well for growth, and that's why we're trying to do a lot of things we're doing. Obviously, building the downtown parking facility is something that's been on our minds for a long time. We're also expanding 2 of our outlying tax offices. We'll be building new offices on Fairmont and Gilmer Road, as well as over off of in Kilgore.
One final thing regarding the fiber optic cable. After these installations that were approved today were done, would you happen to know, what percentage, how many people in the county should have access? Will it be, significantly more? Will it be?
Well, it'll be more than, when you start at 0, it's going to be more. Our fiber optic out in the county is very weak. That's the reason I'm glad to see and glad to approve these projects going on with private companies. We continue to encourage, and we continue to work with that grant funding out of Washington to try and expand that access to the internet out in the outlying areas of the county. We still don't have some areas we don't have it, unless you have a satellite of some kind to draw the internet in, or you have another service of some kind. We don't have the fiber optic cables laid out in outlying areas, and that's what we're trying to get done.